Welcome to the Intensely Positive Podcast. Your host, Kelvin P. Ringo. Preset your mindset, make every day count, and make positivity your way of life. Are you ready?
Let's just do this.
Good day, my friends. Kelvin P. Ringold here, coming to you live from Central New York with another Intensely Positive Podcast. You know, some days I forget what day it is, but I never forget that it's another day that I've lived to see, to experience, to move around. And being as that can change in a moment's notice, it's good not to take that for granted. For today's podcast, we're going to slow things down a bit. You know, last week's podcast was great, and I had energized with Peg, and we had a great time. I hope you listened to that and got some great insight into anxiety. And if you haven't, feel free to go back to listen to episode 10. It was a great episode, and we had a lot of fun. But this week we're going to slow things down a bit, make it a little quieter, a little more cerebral. And we're going to talk about meditation. Needless to say, if you're driving or operating machinery right now, I would actually suggest that you not listen to this podcast. And I'd wait until you were sitting someplace quiet and relaxed and listen to it then, because that's an atmosphere more conducive to what I'm going to do this week. You know, the interesting thing about meditation is it causes you to focus. It causes you to focus inward. As a matter of fact, it's the epitome of being selfish, because your full attention is focused on you. Now, I know, the word selfish is a lot of connotations these days. It has a lot of negative connotations. So if I may, let me propose for you a different meaning for selfish than the one you may have in your mind right now. We're going to upgrade that definition of selfish to simply being aware of self, or having a sense of self. Ultimately, meditation is a way for you to tune in to you. For instance, when you consider what a magnificent creature or creation you are, and all the miracles that operate within you, being able to notice the connection of your hair to your scalp, for instance, should be okay to notice. You have to focus in order to do that. So I'm going to give you just a few things to think about. You can try them on your own. You can try them with us here, and then you can try them on your own and see how you like it. But I've been meditating now for about 2 years. I normally do it 20 to 30 minutes at a stretch. That's all I need most of the time. And it's just a way to center and collect my thoughts and allow other, thoughts that I'm having to clarify. A lot of problems get solved in my mind during meditation, because when you stop feeding your mind with stuff and just let your mind rest, there's a communication that happens. It can't happen when you're busy back and forth doing all manner of things. So if you're ready, we're going to go. Again, if you're driving, don't listen to this tape. My voice may be very soothing and calming, and maybe too soothing and too calming. Or, depending on who you are, it may be just boring, and we don't want to bore you to sleep while you're driving or something like that. So if you're driving, you should listen to this another time. All right? That's my firm recommendation for that. The first thing is to find some place quiet where you can sit comfortably and undisturbed, preferably. Low light is preferred, or at least not glaring light. You don't want it to be real bright light, because you're trying to relax your mind, relax your eyes. And when you do, you find you take a few minutes to get comfortable and situated, and then we can try some of this stuff out. Ready? First, breathe. Slowly and deeply. If you have a quiet fan, you can even let that blow gently on your face. That's not a bad thing. A little tropical breeze, depending on where you are. And if you got the air from the fan brushing across your face, how does that feel? Just breathe. With your mouth closed, breathe in through your nose and trace the air through your nose to your nasal passages and into your throat and into your lungs as your chest expands. Just feel the air moving against the surfaces of your nasal passages, your throat, and into your lungs. Do this a few times, and see how that feels. As a matter of fact, just kind of imagine you can watch the air as it goes in your nose, a deep breath into your lungs. You can see your lungs expand in your mind. Your eyes are closed now, right? You can see your lungs expand, and breathe nice and deeply and fill your lungs, and then slowly breathe out and let your lungs deflate. And do that a few times, just quietly. You can even make an ah sound. If you're quiet and you're focused on your body, you can feel your heartbeat as you breathe. You can feel your pulse, not just at your heart, but in your veins. Can you feel the blood flowing through your veins? And I don't mean by putting your finger on a blood vessel either, but just by tuning in enough to sense it within you. And if not, that's fine. You can just imagine that you can feel it. Or if you want to get a real grounding of it, go ahead and put your fingers on your pulse like you're taking your pulse and feel that. And just imagine that feeling all the way through your body. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel your pulse. Relax. Eyes closed. Breathing. Just focus on your breathing. Now think for a second. When you are engrossed in that exercise, when you are breathing and you're counting your breaths and you're feeling your breath go from your nose through your throat to your lungs, and you're feeling the blood pulse through your veins and you're concentrating on it, I have a question. Are you worried about bills right now? Are you worried about anything right now? You're just enjoying the feeling and absorbing the feeling of you, turning your attention completely into you and relaxing and letting all your stress go and letting all your worries go and just concentrating on the feeling of breathing, feeling your heartbeat, feeling your pulse, and relaxing. No worries, right? You're not worried about your bills right now. Were you thinking about the next chore you needed to do? No, you were thinking, that lovely photo in my mind. Or how quiet it is in this place where you sit when you actually allow yourself to relax. No. When you meditate, you were tuned into the moment. You took the time to deliberately consider what's happening right now with you, inside you, and how fascinating that is. Someone once said to me, if you want to feel rich, just count the things you have that money can't buy. And when you tune into yourself, your thoughts, your heartbeat, your breathing, you, just you, and you kind of get a sense for that. And if you're like me, you're probably feeling pretty wealthy right now. So spend a few more minutes tracing your pulse through the rest of your body, feeling the air against your skin, and maybe even a slight breeze whispering past the fine hairs on your arms or your neck. And just enjoy that feeling, that quiet, that calm, that no stress zone that you've created for yourself. Now you could even try slowly bringing your hands together in front of you and rub them together. You know, like you're washing your hands and you're rubbing your skin and you're running your fingers over the back of your other hand and alternately, and you just tune into the sensation of your own touch. Bring your hands together in front of you. Rub them together. Now rub the fingers of one hand over the back of the other hand and alternate. And just tune into the sensation of your own touch. Tune into how that really feels. Try a lighter touch, a heavier touch. Money can't buy that. Money can't buy the feeling of touch, the sensation that you feel in your body. Money can't buy that. Now later today, when someone asks you, how do you feel today? Just think of the range of answers you can give them. But instead, you can just let your smile speak for itself. So if you get in the habit of doing this every day, just 15, 20 minutes a day, do that every day. Vary the exercises or stop them now and just focus on your breathing. Feel your lungs inflate. Feel your lungs inflate and then breathe out. Use your imagination. Let your mind rest. And soon you'll start to get images, concepts, thoughts that will clarify. The mind can be very playful if you give it room. And each time you try it, increase the time just a little bit until you get to a comfortable goal for you. I generally set my timer for 20 minutes, but sometimes 30, and I just relax and breathe. And honestly, it can make a world of difference in your day. You don't have to meditate for 20 minutes. If you need 2 minutes, you can go someplace, breathe for 2 minutes quietly, and relax and de-stress and clarify. And one person said, if all you've got is 2 minutes, then take 2 minutes. And when you get more time, you take more time. But it's a little break during your day, during your stress, during your action periods when you can just collect yourself, tune into you, and recharge. I think you should give that a shot. I'm no expert at this, but I do what I can. All right? So you enjoy you today and embrace your intrinsic wealth. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day.
Wow, that was awesome.